Hello, Rayno here for all my followers on Twitter. We're trying to do this on YouTube because the quality is far superior than what I'm doing on Twitter. So that's why it's on the YouTube channel. It's on AccuWeather's channel. I'm going to put a link to this so it can be seen for my followers on Twitter as well. Very sneaky snow coming to the Northeast. I'm really concerned around New York City. I think New York City, you have a shot here of getting 4 or 5 inches of snow. I can also see how you get just a coating to an inch. It's all going to hinge on how heavy the precipitation is. And I think it's going to be heavy enough to get accumulating snow. I have a lot to go over here, so let me show you what's going on here. Let's first start with the surface map here as we move forward here. Here we are tomorrow morning. Here's what's going on. You've got this low shortwave. See this? This is the European. That's the GFS European. GFS European. What this is doing is it's going to bring an injection of cold air into New England. And here it is. I'm going to stop this. This is Monday evening. You've got your area of high pressure here, and you've got this injection of cold air coming in. Now, it only goes so far west. Like, for example, here in State College, Pennsylvania, where I'm located, we're not quite in it, and that's why I think we get a lot of sleet here. And you get a lot of sleet in western Pennsylvania as well, north of Pittsburgh, because I don't think the cold air is all that deep. But as you get eastward, in the eastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, and certainly southern New England, the cold air is pretty deep. I mean, I'll show you on the, this is the GFS. No, there's the GFS. Here's the European surface map. Same story is, you can see the kinking of the isobars. Watch as we head toward 1 a.m. Tuesday morning. You can see that kinking continues right in here. So this is where from Northeast PA, southern tier of New York, into New England, you've got a lot of cold, dry air coming down. Now, I know a lot of people will say the 540 thickness, that's the rain snow line. It's an approximation. I think in something like this, it's really going to be the 546 line, where you have the cold air deep, and that's from northeastern PA on northward. Where you don't have the cold air deep, then you've got to be at the 540 line. That's in central Pennsylvania. You'll notice where that is in New York State. So it all matters. It all depends on how deep the cold air is. Now, I wish I saw a stronger high, more than 1020 millibars, but I think this is going to be cold enough. Now, the other thing you have to realize is that this snow is going to come in two pieces. There's a southern piece and the northern piece. It's the southern piece that we're going to focus in on for New York City and Boston. Now, Philadelphia on south, sorry, this is all rain for you. Baltimore, D.C., you're not in the game here at all. Sorry to disappoint you, but you're just not in the game. So here's been the contention is where this upper low goes, this short wave. This is actually, if you follow it, this is the upper low that caused all of the mischief and mayhem in California. You can see as we follow it around, here's Monday, and then here's Tuesday. You see it's weakening. That's another thing that concerns me a little bit, the fact that the short wave is weakening. Now, as I tweeted out last night, the movement of this is key. The farther north, of course, the farther north, the warmer air gets. The farther south, the more the cold air stays intact. That's the GFS, this is European. Not much difference. Let's go to Monday evening. That's the GFS, this is European. Not much difference. Here's the key move coming up. Now, what was happening in previous runs is the GFS was taking this up toward New York City, remember? This is GFS, watch where it goes. It's going underneath. You see that? That's the GFS. I'm sorry. This is the GFS. Watch how it goes underneath. It's going underneath New York City, right in here. That is pretty much what the Europeans been having, right here. I had thought, as I had talked to a couple of people last night, I thought the southern track was going to end up being right because this came in so far south in Southern California. I thought it was very unlikely that it would go north of New York City. So, for New York City, here's the key now. Since that is south of you, that energy, the cold air is going to stay entrenched. So, someone told me they thought this was going to be a big sleet storm for New York City. I don't believe that for a second. This is snow or rain for New York City. Snow or rain for New York City. I don't have any doubt about that. Snow or rain, sorry, I just spit. Snow or rain for New York City. And you can even see the surface map. See, here's your primary low, and then the low is going, I still have a bad frame here. You can't see it, but you can see it on the European. See, the low's going south in New York City. That's because the energy is going south. You see that? So the question is it cold enough in New York City? And then we're going to talk about southern New England. Is it cold enough for New York City to have all snow? If the precipitation is heavy, I could see New York City getting 5-6 inches of snow out of this. If the precipitation is light, that is, it's just, it's light precipitation, it'll go over to rain and you won't get anything more than a coating to an inch. What does concern me is the short wave is weakening. No matter what you look at, it is a weakening system. But on the other hand, while it is a weakening system, what do you have? You have a fresh injection of cold air to overrun. So that's the game you're playing. I want to show you the upward motion field on this. And I want to show you, this is Monday evening. So what are we looking at here? This is the zero line at 8:50. Now listen, there's going to be a warm layer, so that you're going to get sleet. But I want to show you the upward motion. Where's the upward motion going? It is going across eastern Pennsylvania and New York City. You see that? Right there. Notice where you don't have a lot of upward motion, Boston. You have a little tail going in toward Hartford, but from Providence toward Boston, there's not a lot of upward motion. I'm very skeptical for Boston. I don't think you're getting, I don't think you're getting any more than 1 to 3 inches in Boston. I don't believe it. I just don't, because here's what's going on in southern New England then. This is going to be coming in two pieces for New England. You've got the initial piece. This is the upper low. Watch that slide by. And then you've got this other piece of energy up here, right? And that goes across New England then. So your first piece goes across Maryland, across Pennsylvania and southern New England, Monday night into Tuesday, right? That leaves, and then you've got this other piece Tuesday night into Wednesday. You see that? And that provides snow. I think there's a rip-off zone in between these two pieces, and I bet you it's Boston. I bet you it's Boston. All right. I want to show you now. If you live in like Hartford, I think you're in a good spot. I think if you live in northeastern PA, northern New Jersey, you're in a good spot, at least 3 inches of snow. I think the southern tier of New York, Hudson Valley up toward Albany, I think you're in a good spot, 3 to 6 inches of snow. The best spots are going to be the Catskills, the Berkshires, and northern Maine, where I think there will be a pretty big storm. But I want to zone in on New York City here a little quick. I showed this yesterday on my Twitter page. These are modified. These are model soundings. I'm going to explain it. So this is New York City. This is for 42 hours. So this is 1 a.m. This is 1 a.m. Monday morning. Here is the zero line. All of this sounding, and this is the GFS, by the way. This is the zero line. This is the dew point. This is the temperature. The entire sounding is below zero. Now, it's a little close here, but I think it's far enough away that you're not going to get sleet. A sleet sounding would look like this. It would go a little over into the above zero line, so it would look like this. But it's not doing that. The only location where you're above zero is right in here. That's in the lowest levels. Now that's the GFS. Watch the European, same time frame. Notice it's a little colder. The European, a little colder. Look at that. There's a little bit of a separation here. See? It's a little colder. It's not much colder. It's a little colder. But see, this is my point. When you look also at the some of the modeling data, I want to show you this. Let me take you to the GFS guidance. Here it is. This is the GFS guidance. This is temperature. Tomorrow night, Look at the dew point temperature. 29, 29, 30, 30. So here are your dew point temperatures. So this is a GFS. So that's my point. If it's precipitating hard, then these temperatures, which are being projected by the GFS to be about 35, 36, are going to be about 33, 32, and your dew point temperatures will be about 31, and it's snowing. See, that's the tricky part in New York City. If it's snow, if the precipitation is light, you're going to get at least 2 to 3 inches of snow out of this. And by the way, that'll include all of Long Island. I'd include all of Long Island on that. But if the precip is light, then you get a little bit of snow, maybe you get a cone to an inch and it turns over to rain, because you need the heavy precipitation to produce the cooling in the low level. Think about it this way: when you walk out of a shower, what happens if you don't towel yourself off? Your skin cools. Same thing with the atmosphere. Now, a couple other tools I want to show you, and then I'll give you the forecast on what we're doing. One of the things that I look at, and I'm not going to try to explain this too much, this is the European, all of the ensembles, and it's called the Extreme Forecast Index. I'm going to show you the snow. And what it's showing you is where you start seeing that this area in here within the yellow and orange is a pretty high chance that you're going to see snow that's unusual or above the norm, so to speak. You start seeing these colors in here. Look, New York City's on the edge of this, but you can see where it is: eastern Pennsylvania, and in here, Boston. Just a pretty low probability there. And then it goes up and in New England the next day. See that? New York City is right on the edge as well with this. So again, this is pretty tough forecast for New York City. Let me show you the snow map, and I'll be honest with you, there's parts I don't agree with. This is our snow map. I really do think that this 3 to 6 inch line has to come all the way down in the eastern Pennsylvania in here. I would bring it all the way down like in the Hazleton. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, your lower elevations, but I think you can get 3. But I would take this down into here like this. I think all of central and western Long Island, eastern Long Island, maybe a coating to an inch. But you get in the Nassau County and the city, I think I'm going to bite the bullet in New York City and just say you get 1 to 3 inches of snow. I like this 3 to 6 coming down toward the Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre area, Warren and Sussex County. I think most of Connecticut, once you get into the hills, I think Hartford's going to get 3 to 6. Most Bridgeport, White Plains, all of these areas north of New York City, I think this is a solid 3 to 6 inches here. I would not have 3 to 6 in Boston. I would have a 1 to 3 inch area that comes up in eastern Long Island, hits Providence, and comes to the north shore of Boston like this. And I'd have 1 to 3 in Boston. I just think Boston, I just don't think, so what's going to happen is I think Boston's going to get screwed. They're too far north with the first system and too far south with the second system, and I think they get gypped. And what worries me about Boston is that their boundary layers are like New York's. They're about, 35, 36. But here's the thing. If Boston doesn't get in the heavy precipitation, that would be a concern that it turns over the rain there. I really do. I wouldn't have any more than 1 to 3 in Boston or Providence or New Bedford or the Cape or eastern Long Island. Once you get into Nassau County, into the city, I'd have 1 to 3 inches. I really would. And I could see how someone gets 5 or 6. But again, I can't stress this enough. The precipitation must come down at least moderately to heavy in New York City to get those accumulations. If it is light, you will get no more than a coating of wind. I think it's heavy enough that you're going to get a solid 1 to 3 inches. You look at the other areas. The other thing I would probably do is take this 3 to 6 inch toward the Hudson Valley and come down. I'd have a solid 3 to 6 inches throughout the entire Hudson Valley up toward Albany, and then north of Albany, 6 inches plus. I think this is all fine. State College, Pennsylvania, I think here it's going to be a big sleet storm, and we get a coating to an inch. And you're going to get some sleet down in here, but Philadelphia on south, I don't think you're getting much snow out. You're not getting any snow out of this. And I do think this is right, that the heaviest snow is going to be in Maine because you have that second piece rolling by. All right, so that's what I'm thinking there. Really quickly, we're not done then. By the way, the hits keep coming in California. No one wants to say this. I don't know why no one wants to report on this. But if we continue to get normal rain and snowfall in California during the month of March, the drought's over. And I don't know what the officials are going to say. All I can tell you is that by the end of March, if we get normal precipitation in California, you won't even be looking at any severe drought in California. So essentially, the drought's over. If you look at all of the water reservoirs out there, almost all of them are above normal. I mean, they'd come back. I remember here in Orville would never come back. You should see Orville. It's like 115% above normal. It's above, and that doesn't even count the feet of snow in the mountains of California. But I don't want to obsess too much about that. I'm an obsessive person. But and then the hits keep coming for California. Look at this. There's a reason I'm showing you this. This is more now. This isn't going to be a lot of rain. But from now until Wednesday, there's going to be 3 to 6 feet of snow in the Sierra. I mean, look at the precipitation there. This is from Sunday through Friday. Look at this. That's 10 inches of liquid. 10 inches of liquid in here, or at least 7. I might be underdone with the through Wednesday, and then there's more snow coming. In the next week, they can easily get, 6 to 12 feet of snow in the Sierra. And remember, the snowfall is critical for the drought because all of that melting snow in the springtime fills the reservoirs. But there's a reason I'm talking about this, not to cause trouble, because a lot of people don't want to talk about good news when it comes to the drought in California, and I don't know why, but this has been a godsend for them. Look what happens. This energy here comes in. There it is. We're at Wednesday, Thursday now in the Southwest, Friday, and then you've got another storm coming. Now, here's going to be the key to this storm, is this upper low, because you see this energy, you know what this does? It brings in an injection of cold air across New England and into parts of the mid-Atlantic. The stronger this trough is, the farther south it goes and the more snow you're going to get in the mid-Atlantic. The GFS is a little different with this. You can see here's the storm track. This would bring snow to New York City, and a lot of it, I think, you can even see the upward motion field with this. This would be the zero line. Look at all this upward motion coming into New York City. Even Philadelphia's close on this. I mean, this could be a big storm, but how strong is this trough? If this trough is stronger, it gets in the cold air and then allows this to cut underneath, and then you get the heavy snow in the mid-Atlantic. But if it's weaker, a la the GFS, see, look how weak it is. Look how weak it is. Where is it? Where do you think this upper low is going to go? It goes right up into here. So here or here all depends on the strength of this. The GFS is much weaker with this. So, that's the storm everybody's excited about from March 3rd and March 4th. I don't have an answer for that yet. I suspect the GFS is too far north, and it's farther south, and we're going to be dealing with this. I don't know about you. I've had this sickness since February 10th. I'm getting better, but incrementally each day. So again, multiple storm threats coming for the Northeast. That's all I got. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at AccuRayno. And let's see how this does. All right? Have a good day.